Good luck to everyone out there taking the January LSAT. I hope that you crush it. At this point in the final week before the January LSAT, I'm typically getting lots of last minute questions about LSAT test day and how to prep in the final week. I'm going to break all of that down for you today. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Of course, back when I took the LSAT, it was in person and on paper. Now it's on a computer and you could take it from home or in person at a prometric testing center. Today, I'm going to walk you through all the different rules regarding each option. For those of you taking the LSAT remotely, pens, pencils, mechanical pencils, and highlighters are all totally fine. You can have 6 sheets of scratch paper. It can be blank, lined, or graph, but it has to be standard sized paper, meaning 8.5 by 11. There used to be a loophole where you could use legal size paper, but LSAC has since sadly closed that loophole. You can have any kind of drink with you, but it's got to be in a clear container, and you can use soft foam generic earplugs to block out the noise. And you can use soft foam generic earplugs to block out any noise. Of course, if you're taking the LSAT in person at a prometric testing center, the rules are a little bit different. They will supply you with their noise canceling headphones to block out sound from other test takers and the proctor. They'll give you pencils and scratch paper, so don't bring your own. If you want to have a drink with you, it's got to be water in a clear container, and you'll be taking the LSAT on their device, meaning a desktop computer, so don't bring your own computer or tablet. Now, with regard to what test day looks like, with standard timing, you'll have 2 35-minute sections back-to-back, a 10-minute break, then 2 more 35-minute sections back-to-back, and that's the exam. If you have accommodations for things like extra time or extra breaks, it will look a little bit different and will, of course, likely be a longer test day. So you want to do several full-length practice tests before the big day. Of course, at this point, I typically recommend that you do at least 10 full-length timed practice tests, but if you've done at least 5 by this point, you're probably in a pretty good place. You may want to consider doing one last practice test this week before the big day. And remember that LSAT test day, you're going to have 2 scored logical reasoning sections, 1 scored reading comp, and 1 unscored extra section of either logical reasoning or reading comp. No more logic games on the test. The last logic games LSAT ever was back in June. So of course you want to practice like game day. So you want to consider the possibility that you could have 3 logical reasoning sections back to back on test day, 2 scored, 1 unscored. If that's your worst nightmare, take a practice test with that in mind. If you would hate to have 2 reading comps back to back, 1 scored, 1 unscored, practice that as well. If you're taking the LSAT on Friday, for example, you might want to take Thursday off to rest and relax. Just take a hot bath, get a massage, go for a watch Netflix, whatever relaxation means for you. You could do a little bit of studying on Thursday if not studying would stress you out, but don't overdo it. And for that last practice test on Wednesday, and if you wanted to fit in 1 final practice test on Wednesday, you could do that, but again, only if it won't stress you out. Whatever the results of your final practice test before the exam, don't place too much stock on unusually high or unusually low practice test result, especially this close to the exam. Instead, take the average of your most recent 5 practice tests, and that'll be the best indication of where you're at. And remember, if you're not happy with the result, you can always retake the LSAT. The February LSAT is not too late, and law schools will not penalize you for having multiple LSAT takes on your record. They do not average multiple LSAT scores. They only take the highest score into consideration, and law schools will not care whether you took the LSAT with logic games or without logic games. They just want to see the highest LSAT score that you can possibly achieve out of 180. So trust in your preparation up to this point, going confident that you'll do well, and remember that retaking the LSAT is always an option if you need to. If you are considering a retake going forward, if you'd like my help, my team and I offer various support options. We offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. You can check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.